Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities there may be today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Okay, starting off here on the daily, we have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. What's the daily chart showing us? Yesterday, Wednesday, was a continuation of that bearish momentum. You can see we had a nice bearish engulfing of the previous 2 days, closing well below the previous weekly low. So the more we continue this bearishness, at the moment it does give me a bit of a feeling like price does intend to come lower finally into this zone here, which was left unmitigated all the way in August. We are at an area where I believe there could be support, right? We still have these daily order blocks here with the imbalance we've just filled yesterday. So it's possible signs of high time frame support, and we are still in this daily order block here on DXY also. So again, it's just possible signs of support, things that I'll look out for. However, we have CPI and I think PPI again tomorrow. So price may just find the momentum it needs to push in this direction, right? Whether that's going to be a pullback or to continue going lower to this discount, which it looks to be heading towards. So news may accelerate that and just shake up the market a little bit. So far today, you can see we are traveling for our previous daily low, no problem, right? Price is bearish this morning. So no signs just yet of any support, which I mentioned. So price may just head down and look to collect the sell side liquidity below these lows here and down towards this discount even more. DXY as well, I think is just coming up to its previous daily high. We'll see what happens there, right? Because that is buy side liquidity. So not much more for me to discuss on the daily here. Let's go down to the 4 hour. We'll see what that looks like for us. Again, I'm going to start zoomed out here on this 4 hour chart. Price has just been very bearish. We had a very minor pullback here, right? Into about 50% of this imbalance and then continued bearish. It may not be with as much momentum, but the candles eventually made their way down into today. If I look to my left, we do have this order block here. An order block was formed and price did go on to make a higher high when we was in that bullish trend here. So in terms of 4 hour, yes, this could be a point of support here as well, like I indicated from the daily. However, price's momentum seems to be continuing, so we may just end up targeting this sell side liquidity low here. So I'll draw that out just for a possible target for price. However, I'm going to keep my awareness of this 4 hour order block, which I believe is on the 1 hour as well, where I may have drawn this out. Okay, so I won't draw it out here on the 4 hour, but just for awareness, that's the sort of zone we are in. Of course, I've been reluctant to have a bias to go short recently, not because of the structure and the trend. We're clearly very bearish, just because we're always in a discount and there's always a possible sign of support. So I'll keep my bias open for now, right? Our direction is bearish, okay? So if there is any good looking bearish trades, then I'll be willing to get involved. But I'll err on the side of caution, of course, because we are in areas of possible support as well. In regards to DXY, I don't think there's anything really for me to point out. Of course, there's an old order block here now on the 4 hour, which is also the daily order block. We are still very much within that zone. So I don't think there's any new POYs I need to mention. I think we've seen everything we need to see here. If I zoom in on this recent price, it is quite correctively making its way down. We're getting some momentum now this morning. We did mitigate some of an imbalance here. We may come back to it as a POY, but it looks like the trend and the momentum is carrying us forward. So potentially a sell side liquidity target down here within this order block on the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Let's see what that looks like and see if that gives us more of a bias for today. Alright, just showing you zoomed out here on the 1 hour for a brief moment. Here is that 1 hour order block, which is also a 4 hour order block. All of these down candles here before price swept sell side liquidity and went on to make higher highs, right? Price is very clearly bearish. As mentioned, we have our bearish leg going lower. Price is very spiky here and corrective, so nothing special, right? However, we do have this local sort of nearby 1 hour POI above price here, which we have so far ignored. We've left buy side liquidity as an inducement possibly below it, but we mitigated the imbalance somewhat and now continued lower into today. we've now created a new lower low even today with this lower high and lower low that you're seeing form at the moment. So price clearly has its momentum. We've taken the buy side liquidity from the previous daily high now here on DXY. We'll see if that causes any type of bearish DXY behavior. We don't see that at the moment. Right, we have the same 1 hour POI below price here, though what we can see is that DXY, before going bullish just now in the last hour, clearly swept some sell side liquidity here. So we can see what the market's powered by, what's running this current hour's price action. We came below what would probably be our Asia lows here, swept the sell side liquidity, and now we've run into some bullish momentum from there. This is a POI I'm just going to keep the drawings on just in case we do revisit anytime soon, as it might be a point where price goes to continue short from. My bias so far is to possibly try and continue with this short trend here, but in a cautious way, right? I want to see something that looks very highly probable, where the lower time frame looks slick, the order flow looks to be continuing, right? And we're not sweeping liquidity and breaking structure to go to the upside. The previous daily high buy side liquidity worries me a little bit here on DXY because this candle may close out as a high test. So we'll see if that happens or not. We're only 18 minutes into this hourly candle, so there's a lot of time for it to pull back and close as a high test sweep and maybe be drawn into this 1 hour order block here, given that we are in a premium and have our possible resistance and supports here. However, price structure is clearly very bearish, so it would be great to try and follow that, but I'm in no rush to get into trades. Price may just be waiting for news announcements later on today, and I don't need to incur any losses by trying to get price when things aren't very clear for me. Let's go down to the M15. Let's see what that looks like, see if there's any trading opportunities for this morning. So how has price played out this morning? Well, on DXY we can clearly see Asia lows are swept, bullish momentum, right? We've got an M15 break of structure here as well. So that does look great for the upside, given this momentum, imbalance, order block formed here. Same thing has occurred here on EU, right? Seems to be we mitigated an imbalance and order block from the Asia session. Price broke down from there. Obviously it's been retested twice. I'm not a massive fan of these equal highs. However, from that point there, price did break down and we have an M15 break of structure around here too, with an order block left behind. Alright, this down candle swept above this up candle here, we can see, and then broke down. We have some SMC divergence for that weakness here on EU, right? Clearly from this high to this lower high, from this low to this lower low, with EU refusing to make that higher high where DXY did, which indicated a sweep of sell side liquidity to then go higher. So that SMC divergence was there. So we've left behind some nice confluences, right? M15 order block, break of structure, SMC divergence. I would have loved this high had swept this internal low here, because we've got SMC divergence as well there, I guess, but doesn't matter as much. We've got a lovely order block left behind, break of structure, going with trend, sell side liquidity target gets below. It's a big order block as well, so price could go lower into it even if it does respect it. We have a lot of momentum going on with us now at the moment too. So I don't think anything here looks horrible, but of course we have some possible weaknesses where the 1 hour may close out as a high test when this, or if this pulls back, right, after taking some previous daily high buy side liquidity. So a bit of a negative there, especially with our 1 hour order blocks below price and above price here. This could serve as some inducement for price to visit that area. However, I do like that London came open, swept these Frankfurt levels here and then broke down. Let's go down to the M5. We might have a more lower time frame order block here that looks good to be involved in. So how would I enter this? What would I look for? We have an M5 order block here just above the imbalance, right? I probably wouldn't use this whole M15 order block. I would refine it slightly up to this M5 order block here. Right, we have these equal highs, which again I said I dislike, right, because we can target equal highs. But if we're willing to go for this trade, I would enter something like this around this area. 0936 entry point. Stop loss will be just above these highs here. Maybe something like this, just to give them some room for any spread or anything like that. And then target the lows down here, right, for the sell side liquidity around my 3% target. But I'd be very vigilant of how price reacts to this low to maybe manage any pullback. So something like this is what I'd look for. That would be where that M15 imbalance fill would be, and it just so happens to be where the M5 order block is as well. So I think it is a good entry point. Of course, you could filter this down to take profit sooner, right on its highs. However, I would want price to respect this area a lot sooner, because if it comes to those highs, we're probably going to lose this trade here, and price may even come higher for more buy side liquidity and this POI here. So again, of course, those are the negatives: equal highs, 1 hour POI with this liquidity below it, right, to be mitigated, and our possible higher time frame support areas. But where we've trend, the lower time frame strategy and structure looks on side, and if we get a good pullback, it could look really good. So that's something I'm interested in the moment. I don't see any longs this morning in London. I would have to see the order flow switch, us go above these highs and create some order flow and respect the London lows in the US session. However, there's some news obviously coming out today, so price may not have a good NY session for day trading. So I hope that's clear. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.